Are you an artist that never paints, a songwriter who never writes, a musician who never plays, an entrepreneur that never starts a business? Then you know what resistance is. Now, how do we win this creative battle in our mind? Let's find out. Welcome to Motivational Mondays with your host, Red. I hope this uplifts, inspires, and transforms you to live better than best. Now, let's dive in. Welcome back. My name is Red Wallace, your creative mindset coach and podcast host. I bet you didn't know the challenges this hip-hop icon and popular producer had to overcome before achieving greatness. He was raised in Brooklyn, one of the toughest neighborhoods in New York. Brooklyn has made headlines in the recent past due to its widespread cases of violence, drugs, gangs. This icon's path in the music sector was full of obstacles. For example, the top-notch rapper was rejected by every single record label when he wanted to record his first music track. To the greater extent, the rejection was a blessing in disguise because it marked the beginning of his record label. Did you guess it? Rockefeller Records. Today, Rockefeller Records is one of the most powerful music labels on the globe, and it has helped, Sean Jay-Z Carter to add extra dollars to his bank account. Currently, Jay-Z is the second wealthiest musician on the planet with an estimated net worth of $1 billion. On top of that, you've seen countless awards and Grammys he has won. Now, what would hip-hop sound like today if Sean Jay-Z Carter would have accepted the resistance and given up on his dreams? Resistance is the most toxic force on the planet. It is the director of distraction, the president of procrastination, the baron of boredom. Resistance is the number one reason that you as a creative, me also, doesn't feel qualified or motivated enough to be great. To give in to resistance stunts our growth. It paralyzes us from our purpose and leaves us quietly, slowly going mad. If you believe in God like I do, then brand this resistance as the evil that it is because it stops us from living the life God intended us to live. Resistance fights for our unique genius we've all been given. Yes, friend, you right there listening right now in this moment, I want you to know that you have been given a unique genius, a unique purpose and calling. And that resistance, that chatter in your head that says you aren't good enough, that's what's trying to stop you from your true purpose, your true calling. So don't give in to resistance. Even as I'm writing this episode, I was getting pulled in so many different directions. My son was crawling across my laptop as I typed. My phone was binging thousands of messages. Okay, maybe a bit dramatic, but a couple messages of people trying to ask random questions that had nothing to do with writing this. You see, the resistance has one job: to get you distracted from what you need to be doing in the moment. We hear countless stories of people that get diagnosed with a terminal illness, and then all of a sudden they turn their life around. They quit their jobs, they go after their dreams, and suddenly that terminal illness flips on its head and they are living their best life much longer than they were expected to live. Do we have to stare death in the face for us to stand up and face the resistance? Look into your own heart in this moment. You hear that? That still small voice calling you out of hiding, calling you out of normal, average, and boring. Step into the light as the person you were designed to be. The good news is you can resist resistance. You can push back into your purpose. And the number one way to fight this resistance is to go pro. Reframe your mindset from amateur to pro, because you see the difference between successful creatives and entrepreneurs and businesses is that they decide that they are going to do this. They put their mind to it. They decide that they can do this, opposed to the people that decide they can't. That's the only difference between those that succeed and those that don't. It simply goes back to their mindset. Have you made up your mind? Have you chose to go pro? See, amateurs play for fun, pros play for keeps. For amateurs, the game has been a hobby for them. For pros, it's their calling. Amateurs play part-time, they're weekend warriors. A pro is full-time, overtime, off-season. The amateur doesn't love the game enough to go pro. Don't treat your dreams like a side hustle. They are the hustle. All it takes is a mindset shift. If you're at a job right now as you listen to this that you hate, or you're working on your dreams on the side, reframe it and think of it like this. My day job is just funding my future career and my dreams. Know that you are already a pro. If you believe you are, treat your dreams like you're a profession and you will see them become a reality. Pros accept no excuses. They act in the face of fear. They are dedicated to mastering their techniques. I love the example of me as being a worship drummer. If I go days without practicing, I can tell. If I go weeks without practicing, everyone that listens to me plays can tell. I do the rudiments. I practice the hand techniques because I know that the small rudiments and the small things and the details of the basics, that's what's going to be able to propel my playing to the next level. Friend, that's what you have to do with your goals and your dreams and your craft. You must adapt that idea of mastering the techniques. Pros know patience and persistence paves the way to their purpose. Hard work daily moves the needle. Pros know how to have right perspective for the mission. They know when to get big picture views or when to zoom into the details to better refine the goal. Now, in closing, to combat the resistance and win the creative battle in the mind, we must reframe ourselves as professionals in our field. Long before Jay-Z was an icon, long before Jay-Z was one of the greatest rappers and producers alive, he had the perspective that he already was. He saw himself as a star, and that perspective is what kept him going in the face of rejection after rejection after rejection. Just because the gatekeepers in your field are trying to keep you out, you don't have to let them stop you. Maybe you were called to build your own section in your field. Be a trailblazer, be a pioneer, go where no one else has gone before by seeing yourself as a pro while you're still in the minor leagues. Friend, I truly believe there is greatness inside of you and the world needs to experience your art. So don't stop. Don't give in to the resistance. You can do this, friend. Time is not up, it is now. So take action and fight the resistance. I'm cheering for you. I'm praying for you. I love you. Now let's go live better than best as we conquer this week and we overcome the resistance.